Back now with Commitment 2026. As we've mentioned several times, there are 37 candidates running in the primary for Winston-Salem Forsyth County School Board. 9 open positions. Of those 37, only 3 are guaranteed to move on to the general election.
And those 3 candidates spoke with our Kelly Kendall, who joins us in the studio. She explains why it's a competitive primary, but not for these candidates.
These candidates are running as Republicans for seats that have historically been dominated by Democrats. Their bids to flip those seats include proposals on fixing the district's finances, restoring community trust, and addressing school safety and student discipline. There are 2 Republican candidates running for at-large seats on the board. One of them is Jason Lucero, who frequently attends and speaks at board meetings. He says moving forward, the board needs to have and understand the district's financial information.
We need to make sure we're asking the questions and have understanding of what is in that budget and what questions to ask. We shouldn't be handling new business without having a current financial in front of us.
Michael Quinones is a teacher with experience in WSFCS. He says many of the budget issues stem from central office.
And a lot of redundancies and superfluous offices, assistants to the assistants, wasting a lot of money. So I think we need to definitely streamline the central office, get the money to the schools.
Mike Kleintobe is a loner in District 1, which covers most of the city of Winston-Salem. He is the only candidate running as a Republican. He didn't specifically say what he would do to right the district's finances, but expressed confidence in new leaders.
To address the budget problem, I think it's going to be pretty easy. I think it's going to be very easy. And I believe the new superintendent, Dr. Phipps, is underway in getting that resolved.
Though these candidates don't need to earn votes in the primary, like every candidate, they need to earn the community's trust as the district rebuilds after the budget crisis. In different ways, they say visibility is key to earning that trust.
Our budget should be 100% available to the public. People should be able to see what's in it, see where that money's going, where that money's coming from. Whether it be information systems or whatever the case is, we've got to be transparent. We've got to let the community know what's going on and give them full access.
If elected, there will be an open line of communication with my constituents. One of the reasons I'm running for an at-large seat is this way I'm not constrained to one district. The entire county, I'll be at every school, I'll be interacting with the staff members all the time and the parents.
I would make it transparent on the school board's web page area there. I just make it very transparent on everything that's going on.
Though the budget crisis has been a focal point in the district, any candidate elected to the board will also have to tackle other large issues, including safety and the district's disciplinary policy, the Code of Character, Conduct, and Support. Lucero says the code needs to be more specific and enforced mindfully. On safety, he says the district also needs to be mindful of what it already has.
We have the tools. A lot of people don't realize we have the tools at our schools. I think we've gotten complacent, and it is cumbersome to do that and to manage those. But I think as a district, we have a responsibility to provide a safe environment.
Quinones says the code lacks an understanding of how students think and respond to situations. Understanding is also how he would increase safety.
Random inspections, metal detectors are a good thing, but we have to have good relationships with the kids. This way they are able to tell us what they know. You know, the old saying is, if you see something, say something.
Kleintobe says he wants to develop a think tank of stakeholders to tackle district issues, including revisiting the Code of Conduct. He says bolstering safety could come from the increased involvement of particular stakeholders, parents.
I think get the PTA involved more. If they're not involved at all in any of the schools, but just get the PTA involved and just make safety first.
You can watch the full interviews with these candidates by visiting the WXII 12 YouTube page. You can also read their responses to our candidate questionnaire on WXII12.com. In studio, I'm Kelly Kendall for WXII 12 News.
Kelly, thank you. With more than 36 candidates in the running, we know this is a packed race. We do invite you to scan the QR code on your screen for a guide we have put together for you on our website. It includes a full list of candidates breaking down their top priorities if elected.